So after many months of work, we were finally able to build a race engine on a budget and put it inside our YUGO, aka the worst car ever made from a country that doesn't even exist anymore. And if you enjoyed the previous episode, I'm sure you're excited to see us drive it as much as I am. Which is now our primary objective. I want to bring this YUGO to a car show or a car meet. In order to make that happen, I need to make it drivable. And to make it drivable on the street, we must address the idling issues first. The exciting news is that I have a plan, and many of you guys might be also excited to finally see your name on this plaque for helping making this project possible. Jerry's gotta hold the plaque now. Perfect. Currently the car runs really rough and it likes to start fires. So in order for me to drive it, I need to tune it first. Now here's something funny. This is the rough amount of fuel that the current fuel injectors are rated for if we convert it to liters per minute. And this is the amount of fuel that this car can start with if we use the original engine. In fact, according to my math, you need about 4 of these in order to get the car running for about a minute. That's crazy. However, with a much bigger engine that we put in this car, combined with all the forged and race parts, the amount of fuel we would need would be somewhere in between the two. So in order for me to tune it, I need to replace the current injectors with much smaller ones. There's probably gonna be a lot of fuel all over the place. That was easy. Alright, let's give it a try. Is that smoke? Oh, that sounds good. It runs way better now, but there's a lot of leaks and it also runs extremely loud because the exhaust system is broken. So thanks to your support on Patreon and buying merch, I decided to go with something more exciting than just getting a generic pipe to fix it. It's like a giant sausage. Originally, I considered just clamping it all together, but I figured welding will do way better, especially after I found a giant hole in our exhaust system. There's a hole in it. I've never done any welding in my life and I can tell that these welds are absolutely terrible. Oh my god, they're even worse on the inside. And while I was busy welding, my 3D printer was preparing the new adapter plate I made, and together with a somewhat fixed exhaust, some parts of which I still had to clamp due to the clearance issues, it made a huge difference in terms of stability while I was tuning the car. But it was still pretty inconsistent and very unreliable, due to incorrect readings caused by an unusual engine design. So I had to resort to very unusual methods to trick the system into thinking that everything is right. It's not giving up! It is not giving up! Smoke! Unsafe but fun. Average viewer will not really understand what they're looking for, but this is equivalent of getting on a no-fly list. I did receive a living will offer in my mail recently.
Wait, a what?
A living will, basically, hey, in case you die, you might as well write a will. I think that they saw the YUGO video and that's why they sent me the living will. Unfortunately, I couldn't account for every possible scenario, and the last thing I would want to happen is for the fuel to spray everywhere at a large volume while the engine is on fire. So the safer option was to replace the double barrel system with a single barrel. It's still designed for much larger engines, but at least the chance of catastrophic failure is much lower, especially since there were some universal adapter plates that actually worked for our setup. But unfortunately, things went really wrong during the install. We found out that the better intake manifold didn't have a vacuum port compared to the old one, and that was essential to make the system work. And due to the age and quality of the parts, it was just a matter of time until something like this would happen. Messed up. To put it simply, on the day of us wanting to drive the car for the first time, we actually managed to revert days worth of progress. This belongs to the engine. It is a relatively easy fix, but to make that fix happen, you have to undo pretty much everything off top of the engine. But on the bright side, it gave us access and reasons to fix and improve a bunch of other things, like getting better adapter plates, installing the new coil, setting up a better throttle cable, gapping the spark plugs, getting a new ignition module as well as funny sweaters for our cables, and doing a bunch of other stuff while listening to manly music. It took a couple of days, but now the question is, was it all worth it? And the answer will be the following clip.
Alright. Okay, monitor, initial startup. That was quick! Yes! We did it! On the first try, dude. Dude, that was a fast crank too.
I was shocked. We had to readjust a couple of little things to make it run more smoothly, but it was able to idle on its own without any weird electronic settings. And yes, it actually ran on the very first try and it ran pretty well, at least for the first couple of attempts, because eventually the engine properly warmed up, and as a result, this happened.
Oh, stop.
We need a better cap.
For what?
That.
For what?
That.
For what?
That.
Brother, put the mask on.
Unsafe but fun. Long story short, the high temperature and high pressure caused the rubber cap to pop, and we simply just had to plug it with something else. Otherwise, the car was running fine, with an exception of two things. The battery voltage began dropping down, and the radiator fan would no longer kick in automatically. And these two simple issues were the only two things preventing me from driving this car on the regular road, because at best, the battery would die and the electronics would not work, and at worst, the whole thing would overheat and go skadoosh.
Oh, yeah. That might be a good idea. This thing expired?
Yeah. As we were doing the final fixes and tune-ups, we found out that there's a huge charity car meet event happening in less than 2 weeks, making the stakes of fixing the car much higher, as the event features car build competition with actual judges. We solved the fan problem by making a custom switch that would allow us to turn it on manually instead of relying on electronics.
Let's go, self-destruct button.
It will pass the inspections, I'm telling you. And we tried to solve the battery voltage problem by getting a new alternator, which is a device used to charge them while the engine is running. Unfortunately, it arrived with missing parts. I reached out to the seller and they were very sorry. They refunded the order in full and let us keep the items, which was extremely kind of them, especially since I didn't even ask for it. The parts between the old alternator and the new one were not fully compatible, but after making some modifications, we made it work, at least as a temporary solution. With the new setup, we could no longer use the active hood scoop, but I still installed it just because it makes the car stand out more cosmetically, and I totally did not install it backwards on my first attempt.
Jesus Christ.
It looks so absurd. And we also fixed the electrical short problem, making the car ready for its first drive. Or so we thought. Just 3 days before the charity event, a disaster struck. We were testing the gearbox in a safe environment, and suddenly the car got stuck in gear, meaning that we can't even operate the car until we fix the problem. We knew it wasn't caused by the same tiny springs from the previous episode, so our main suspicion was the performance clutch we got from a European shop that has sent us multiple incompatible parts in the past, claiming that they would work and costing us hundreds of dollars. But here's the main problem. The only way to figure out the issue was to remove the gearbox, which is essentially half of the entire drivetrain, and we only have 3 days to rebuild the entire thing, including sourcing the parts. Truth be told, that night I couldn't really sleep. In complete despair, I went to check if there are any YUGOs for sale, so we could replace the gearbox entirely. In the United States, it's pretty uncommon to see YUGO for sale in the first place, but what I saw that night was truly a miracle. There was one car hours away in the middle of a desert that was just listed for sale, but it was no ordinary YUGO. And when I saw it, I thought I was dreaming, as it simply felt surreal to me. It was something that was believed to not even exist, but I took the gamble and began my journey. In just under 12 hours, I was standing before possibly the rarest YUGO to exist on the soil. It wasn't just a regular YUGO, it was a priceless secret prototype. The history of this prototype is complicated, and the parts we needed are unique to this type of YUGO, so we couldn't use them for our project. But going across the desert to purchase this unicorn was absolutely worth it.
Somebody's high beams are so bright, it looks like we're witnessing like a nuclear explosion far, far away. Like, is that a semi? Like, what is happening over there? Wait, the hell?
It was a tiny Kia Soul. Unfortunately, that left us with only 1 day to pull out the gearbox, and I was running on maybe about 30 minutes of sleep. Nonetheless, thanks to the help of our amazing friend, we managed to pull out the gearbox, and our suspicion was correct. The gearbox issue was caused by incompatible parts sent by a European shop. They sent us incompatible shifter, incompatible bearings, and the most expensive of all, the incompatible performance clutch kit. My favorite part is that it took us 2 months to find out that they haven't even begun shipping anything after I placed my order in December of the last year, because they were missing part of the clutch kit, and I didn't get to hold that part in my hands until 8 months later. But believe it or not, it actually gets better. As I'm editing this video, I just found out that they didn't even send us the right part. Altogether, it cost us $1,000. But needless to say, the value of our lost sanity and wasted hours is priceless. At around 3 am, we all chose to go to bed, so we could get some rest and finish preparing the car in the morning, right before the event. And not even 6 hours later, we were standing before the YUGO once again. Completely sleep deprived, we were still in denial that the expensive performance parts we got from Europe were the root cause of the gearbox issues, so after hours of work, we gave it a quick test and it got stuck in gear again. It was pretty devastating as the event was about to start, but fortunately I still had a tow dolly, so at least we were able to bring it to the event's location. And I'm extremely glad that we did, because the car quickly became one of the main highlights among nearly 300 other vehicles, some of which cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and took years to build. There were so many incredible and cool cars, but then there it was, sticking out like a sore thumb, complete disaster of a project in all of its glory, finally being witnessed in person by so many strangers, bringing tons of laughs, smiles and questions. This was an important reminder to me and my friends of what this car really represents. Past few months, all the struggles, both financial and labor-wise, have felt like a punch after punch, as the majority of all issues that prevented us from driving the car on the regular road always seem to happen right as we think that it's finally ready to go. But seeing the overwhelmingly positive reactions from people who don't even know the story of this project has brought a lot of motivation and reassurance back to us.
This is like one of those worst cars ever.
We spent the next week rebuilding the gearbox with the old and original parts. The transmission wouldn't be able to handle the full power of the race engine we built, but if we don't push it too hard, at least we would be able to drive it before the end of the year. To make sure nothing else goes wrong, we have rebuilt a lot of other portions of the car with more expensive parts we were able to find, some of which required modifications and custom fabrication. Even with the incredible support on Patreon, I still had to take way more sponsor deals than I was originally expecting, because I really wanted this thing to work and didn't want to make compromises. The gearbox was back in the car and was fully operational, so it was finally time to drive the YUGO on the regular road.
Oh.
Is the fuel pump working?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Not anymore.
Somehow this car managed to shake out multiple nuts that kept the fuel pump's ground cable connected, as if it was cursed and didn't want us to go any further. Fortunately, it was an easy fix.
Has even left and it's already having issues.
Well, better than midway.
Yeah.
Alright. There's like a micro delay, I thought it would just not turn on.
Again.
Yeah.
This car's just full of surprises, ain't it?
It's actually moving.
This is actually kind of
I
wild.
cannot see my speed.
Who needs speed anyways? Oh.
Okay. Starter.
Our car ran completely perfectly until I take it out.
It ran perfectly so many times too.
Yeah, let's push it back in, I suppose.
Yep.
Just when we thought it was over, too. Can this thing have any more surprises?
Not even a minute in of us driving it, the car stopped working. We couldn't get it to start, so we had to push it back into the garage, where we discovered that the exhaust manifold is now full of cracks, which was very surprising because the engine has been working completely fine up until this moment, for a few months now. The worst part was that there were only 3 of them for sale on eBay, but none of them were new and they were all in Europe. Fortunately, an amazing guy named Matt, who we had a pleasure working with in the past, was able to find one in good condition and send it our way of overnight shipping, essentially saving the day. While it was on the way, I got a little suspicious about what happened to the engine and decided to drain the oil, and what I saw was absolutely horrifying. This is really bad. It essentially means that the oil is getting mixed with coolant, and the only way to fully confirm the reason, we have to open the engine, meaning that we have to tear it all apart again. Our main suspicion was a blown head gasket, because it was a common cause of the issue, and performance head gaskets for our engine designed for race applications cost more than head gaskets for Lamborghinis. But upon opening up the engine, we found out that the head gasket was not the reason. It was much worse.
Oh my god, dude, you don't want to see this.
That's
Oh!
No!
No! Oh no! Oh no!
Dude, on 2 sides.
Yes!
That's bad.
Dude! It all ended before my eyes just the way it started, with a blown engine. But there was still something really poetic about it. We were devastated, sad and burnt out. And there was only one right way to close this chapter. telling you, this car is actually cursed. Like, how does this keep happening?
I think we did it. Oh my god. Where's the cannon?
Wait, where is the cannon? Right there. Wait, no! 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 Are you kidding me? No! Where's the other part? I didn't do it.
Where did the rest? Did it go over there?
Maybe. Let's find. Let's look around. Oh yeah, where did my camera go? It blew the power cable out of the camera. It's just gone. Like, it hit it so hard, it ripped the cord out. Oh, that's my backpack with all the expensive stuff. It probably flew in this direction because the backpack flew here as well. No. Wait. Jerry! No. Jerry, no! Jerry! Jerry! No! No! No, Jerry! No! Oh no! Well, that means the stuff flew here. Oh my god!
It's right here.
Maybe we could find the head.
I'm finding parts of his body hole.
Yeah, dude, I'm like assembling him. I'm like an archaeologist. Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
So if Jerry blew that way, and then the other piece of wood went that way, I think the back of the cannon kind of like blew over there.
Wait, are the names still visible? Oh, hey! Oh my god. No. No. Okay, we need to find him. No! No way! Oh my god. No way. Oh my god.
It's a baby boy.
Oh no! Our technology can reconstruct them. There goes my laptop. Yeah, there's a hole in it. The sticker's intact.
Ooh. That's a circuit board.
Or what you mean? Wait, does it still? It still turns on.
Wait, can you plug it up to another
Yes.
display?
Yeah.
Let's...
Wait.
Oh wait, it's still turned on. Wait.
It still works. Hold on.
wait.
It still works. It still works. It still works. No way.
Why does that still work too?
I don't know. No. No.
It's here to haunt us. Wait, turn the volume up. No,
There you go. So I'm kind of curious. We did find like a part of the PCB.
Yeah.
What does it belong to?
Wait, is there a camera up there?
Well, there used to be. I cannot hear the fans. So
No.
they work.
Wait, what?
I hear some noise coming from it. This is so funny. But I don't think they're gonna want to see this out. I think the car might actually be cursed, and unfortunately I may happen to share the same curse as well. Our condition is perpetually rough, but we're too resilient to let anyone else finish the job. Despite all the roadblocks, I don't plan to just give up here, and in 2025 I'm going to my old job to save up extra money to build something even better than anything we've done so far. I have big plans, and it would mean the world to me if you share this video or clips around and support the project via Patreon or merch down below. Thank you so much for being here during this unbelievable journey, and I will see you soon in the next chapter.